Hi everyone, Jasmine here. This is our first video of the year. I'm joined with Marle and Shannon, and we will just pop our details in underneath the video when we put it on our YouTube channel because we don't need to tell us too much or share too much about it, I don't think, because we've done a few of these videos. Anyway, we thought we would just start talking today about the energies, just to check in, like first, to talk about how we've been over the last, I guess it's a month since we did our last video. So, how has it been for you, Marle, the last month and the beginning of this year?
Hello, everyone. No, it's been pretty good. Really enjoying the holiday time. It's definitely feels lighter and people are very much happy. It didn't, obviously, Decembers are always very busy leading up to the holiday time, but it's definitely holiday season here where I am. Shannon and I were just discussing before about trying to find parking to get to the beach.
Yeah.
So if you don't scooter in, walk in, it's pretty tough.
Yeah.
But it's been very good.
Yeah.
That's good. What about
Yeah.
you, Shannon?
Well, I'm coming into the year with a bit of I've caught this flu thing that's been going around. But it's all right because I haven't had it super bad just with my own protocols at home that I've been taking. I haven't had it as bad as what I've heard other people have had. I haven't had the nausea or the vomiting that some people have had. But yeah, so feeling, probably sound a bit nasally today, but that's how it is. But it's all right. It's like my body's saying detox. And so I have been detoxing for the last week or so and just, not really interested in eating any garbage food. So it's been okay. It's just our body's telling us, okay, it's time to, we've been just so busy, all of us, this past year. So I think it's just my body telling me, okay,
Yeah.
slow down a little bit now. So I'm going into the new year like that, but I'm going to continue it on. I think just continue trying to continue on the detoxing and the health bit into the new year. So it's not
It's always a
necessarily a bad
funny
thing.
time, isn't it, between New Year and well, the end of the year and then the beginning of the year and then when you start back.
Yeah,
My thing
definitely.
has been, it's Mercury retrograde, which apparently, I mean, there's two ways of looking at it, that it's, going over things again, as well as you have the technology issues. And I've had major technology issues, which has been a bit annoying, but it's also made me slow down. And first, my SIM card died when I was in Australia because I just got back after 12 days visiting my family. And before that, actually, my laptop started, the graphics started going funny, and now they're really funny. So, hence, we've had to swap over to Shannon. So, if something happens to my laptop, then and I disappear, then that's the reason why. But I'm going to have to upgrade to a new one. And I did have to. I was doing a 5 day kick sugar challenge, starting it on the second, so I've had to put that off. But I feel like this is just the universe telling me that I need to slow down and have a break because we're going to talk a bit about the number of the year soon, and I'm moving into a 2 year. Last year was a 1 year, which was all about new beginnings, and I worked super hard, as I know you guys did too, with
Yeah,
doing
we
our
did.
whole new business. Yeah. But a 2 years about balance and not overworking, and so I'm starting off in that way.
That's
um,
good.
yeah, so this year is going to be a 7 year, isn't it? Um, yeah, so shall I just talk a little bit about what that is then? Because
Yeah,
I actually
and
wrote some notes down. Yeah. So it's so the universal number is 7, and we can tell you a bit about how to work that out. But um, it is very exciting from the spiritual perspective. And I'll just read out what I'd put down. So it's really about a year of personal and spiritual growth where you may not feel as motivated as you usually are. Big questions will come up for you as you find yourself searching for answers. And it's going to provide opportunities to do research and studies on anything that relates to technology, health, philosophy, science, or spirituality. and drawing people into understanding the connection between mind, body, and soul. And connecting to nature will support you in building the foundation for future wellness. So I think that's really exciting.
Yeah,
So
it is.
yeah, do you guys feel like that's the energy that's coming in this year, or how do you feel about that?
Yeah, and the technology thing too. Heaps of people have had problems with their technology. It hasn't been just you, Jasmine. It's like a theme at the minute. There's so many other practitioners and people I talk to are having issues, and my headset just didn't work all of a sudden on my last chat with Tony and Kaz too. And then I know other people are mentioning it, so it's not just you. Yeah, and seven's supposed to be a really spiritual, like it's supposed to be a really spiritual number with the ascended masters, and it's supposed to be a year for like kind of like the calm after the storm type thing, where they give you that year to sort of it's like, okay, we're going to give you this downtime year, we're going to give you this little bit of you time this year. So that's quite exciting for it to be a 7 year, I think. Yeah.
It is. And I think you and me are both the same in that we're number sevens, aren't we, Marle?
Yeah, I'm definitely a 7 on my birth force. So I'm actually a Tower 7, which is well, for everybody being Tower birth forces, it's a pretty intense lifetime of lots of lessons and lots of things, and well, you could say finishing up certain karmic loops, but anyway, so yeah, I'm definitely a 7, and so I feel this year is going to be a good one. Yeah, so
do you know what your personal year is?
I
not worked that
think
out yet?
it's 6. So, which is
Right.
more family, home, which is totally true because we're building our house this year and hopefully it will be done by June. So there we go.
Yeah, I'm a 6 too this year as well. We both are. Yeah, it is.
You guys
It's
might
about
be in
more.
sync.
Yeah, more about home, and I feel that too. I need to get my home set up with my children in that and do a little. I'm feeling the number 6 here for sure. Definitely
coming in already. Yeah.
Yeah, I do. It's in the back of my mind. Like I just really want to create the space of love for my children and create that. So we've been a bit, traveling around a little bit the last couple of years, and moved from our old house a couple of years ago that we sold and to Canada and back, and and so yeah, I'm ready to just create a beautiful space of love for my children and my family, and be grounded. I think like that includes grounding. That's been coming up a lot in my sessions with Ian, like my Reiki sessions, is the grounding, and I never realized how important it is to be grounded, as in your space of love, in your home, for your family, and that type of grounding. We talk about grounding as just like grounding to the earth and water, and for health reasons, but grounding to your home and all that, and being well grounded in your roots.
Perfect for leading us into the manifestation business, isn't it?
Exactly. So that's what I'm manifesting this year, is putting my roots down somewhere and creating that space of love for me and my family. I
just thought before we move into the manifesting part, just in case anyone wants to know that's watching or listening, is that so there's the universal year, which is the year for the planet, for everyone, for our society. So that's that spiritual deep searching which I was talking about in the beginning. And I think that's awesome. That's where hopefully society is going to start really going into that whole, really thinking about what are we here for, what our values are, the whole wellness. And one of the things I'd read out was about nature as well. So maybe there's going to be mass grounding, which would be awesome.
Yeah, that would be great. Yeah, it says about, like, I think about you're going to start to see people who are kind of have these epiphanies and kind of wake up a little bit. I don't love using that word, waking up, because it's a constant journey of waking up our whole life. But I think we're going to see some of the people who come to some realizations this year. More and more people are going to come to the table with that, and their eyes are going to be open to what's been going on for those people who haven't quite.
Yeah, and it can take a while.
Totally.
I heard someone say it can take 10 years to fully awaken. And when you think about your own journey, taking everything in can take a bit. But and so so there's the universal year and then there's the personal year. And just for anyone who wants to know a bit about that, there's heaps of info online. But basically, that's your personal experience, sort of the internal one, which is your birth date. You add all the numbers together. Like, for example, for me, it's not all of them together, but it's 25. So my birthday is the 25th. So it's 2 and 5 is 7. June is 6. 7 and 6 is 13. And then 2023, which is 2023, equals 7. So you add those all together. 202. So that's 7 and 7 is, now I've added it up wrong. 2 and 5 is 7 and 6 is 13 and 7 is what?
20.
20, yeah. I was going to go 21 there. So thank you, Marle.
Yeah.
I know, I said that in the beginning and then it's like, how do we work it out? Okay, so I know you had some interesting stuff you wanted to share, Marle, about manifesting.
Well, I had a quick brainstorm, and I think the main thing that I'd like to say first is just to make sure that you do a bit of the old inner work, as we call it, and feel that you can be abundant and that you can manifest what you want. So not to create that self-sabotage and all that things for yourself. And especially my NLP training, for example, they did the basically goal setting, if you'd call it, or your manifestation of what you want using hypnosis. So what they did is they taught us how to basically get the people into a hypnotic state, get into their timeline, and then create within a certain time frame, because you don't want to keep it open and suddenly get what you want at the end right before your death. So put it in a timeline that's more suited, and drop these specific points to be able to accomplish what you want. So it's basically just getting yourself ready and open and feeling, and not entitled, but feeling that you can be abundant and create what you want.
I love that. I love that. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, and so obviously self-sabotage is a big thing for a lot of people. So if you feel that that's what you do the whole time, you might want to book in for an SCHH session. Or just find something that works for you, that you want to, heal some of that blockages.
Yeah, I mean, now is the perfect time of the year. I mean, I don't want to be cliche, because I've seen it in social media, left, right, and center. Everyone's going on, blah, blah, start the year, do this. And, in some ways it's a bit overkill and we don't want too much pressure on oneself, but it's also, it is a beginning, because it's the beginning of the year in so many ways with numerology and astrology. So I just thought we could talk about some things that we personally do, or that for us, because manifesting is one, but starting off the year on a really good foot, really, because the last 3 years have been pretty harsh, haven't they?
Yeah,
that's correct. And if you miss this time period, you can always use the other calendar. I think we've got the Gregorian calendar, and then the other one, which I can't think about now, which is, I think, the 20th of March. So you can think about what you want to manifest, and then, go towards that date.
Exactly. And also the Chinese calendar, the Chinese New Year is later on as well, which is the rabbits this year, which is supposed to be good luck, good fortune, a good luck and good fortune year as well. So it's funny, my mother-in-law gave me these rabbits as a present. You know.
Oh, those heavy ones. There's two of
Yeah.
them.
I didn't get them this year, but I just found them the other day, and it just so happens to be the year of the rabbit or whatever. She gave me this as a present. Says these rabbits are a symbol of good luck. And some other things. She gave me like these two little rabbits, and it's just funny because it's the year of the rabbit this year as well. So yeah, hopefully I just think I mean, I don't know what the following year is going to bring us, but it's yeah, it feels like a bit of the calm after the storm. And then also, so in keeping all that in mind, there's always the organic timeline and the inorganic timeline that I've talked about in a few videos and that has come up in sessions as well when we've talked, like one of my sessions about the Mandela effect and how, these darker forces here, not to get dark on you or whatever, but just to be aware that there's also the dark side. Things will still happen, I think. I think they'll still try to manipulate timelines, and we'll have that Mandela effect a little bit here and there. But they're inorganic. People have to remember that these timelines of these certain organizations or elites or whatever who are doing these certain groups, that it's inorganic and it will self-destruct because of being inorganic. And the organic timeline is, what we're talking about with the numbers and the numerology and all that, and the year of the good luck and this real inner spiritual year. So I think that the inorganic timeline comes from a place of fear, and it comes from that real, it's fake, it's that matrix, that fake timeline. And so while we have that, I think we need to just focus on, like, leave that aside and not think about it, and just focus on the organic timeline, in your own organic timeline, and creating in that, and don't even give that stuff, the inorganic timelines, any attention at all. Just pretend it doesn't exist. Just forget about it and create your own reality through deciding, okay, that's not going to be our reality. Our reality is going to be the organic timeline, the one of the creator, the one that's meant for us and moving forward. So yeah, that's my 2 cents about that.
So I just wanted to share about, so I've been quite into creating my reality for a few years, and I just thought I'd share a vision board idea, because I know some people do it with the old way, which is getting pictures and words and putting them on a piece of cardboard. But I did this vision board in 2019, and which I'm going to share in a minute. And I had it as my screensaver on my laptop, and I keep thinking I'll do another one, but I haven't. But when I look at it, I realize that one of the things that I had on there is something that I've been focusing on as a theme for the last couple of years. So I'll do a vision board, and when I did the vision board, I tried to do there's actually templates on there as well if anyone wants to do it. It's quite easy. But yeah, I really wanted to focus on getting my body fit and flexible, and that was one of my key words for last year. I've been doing that for a couple of years, and it's really quite interesting. I'll just share this first. Now I will have to put that down. So I have to go into share screen. Yeah, is that coming up all right?
There we go.
Oh, good. Yeah, so I just found a template on there, and I really was trying to make a real balanced life for myself. So of course, unlimited abundance, £1 billion, flourishing clinic, and this one here, fit, flexible, and fun. That was I really wanted to do that because I hadn't been able to exercise. I haven't really been able to do any good exercise for about 6 years because I've had a lot of physical body pain. And so, I started this in 2019, but it was only last year that I really got flexible. And then beautiful view, healthy food. I love my life, abundance and balance. And that was a picture of my partner and I at the top having fun in Fiji.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, it's really easy to do that in Canva, or in any way. And it's like I didn't choose to do lots of words. I just chose a few images because I think they really go into your subconscious. I guess words do too. What do you guys think? Have you ever done a vision board?
I did one years ago for getting fit and stuff like that. Yeah, I think it's a great idea. I think it's a great little activity. I'm going to maybe have my kids do it this year too. I think it would be an excellent activity for them and for us as a family.
I tend to not have vision boards, but I've got a very clear picture in my mind, and I attach my feelings to it, and I imagine it like it's already there, and that it's happening, and I'm really happy. And sometimes, if I really want to focus on it again, I go in there and I experience what it feels like and what it looks like. So that's my form of a vision board, and putting basically power into my wishes. And so I've been, over my life, I've been pretty good at doing that. And so I guess everybody's got their own way, and that's what I'm, if you need to make a ritual about it, if you need to, write it on a paper and burn it, if you need to make a vision board or stick stuff on a thing that you can see, it's whatever works for you. And, as long as you can just clearly manifest it for yourself in some way, and be careful what you ask for. You need to be pretty clear in what you want, because you will get what you ask for. So I used to do that for boyfriends in my life. So the first one I got, I just wanted somebody really nice and beautiful, as you are when you like 17. So that's what I got. And then the second one, I sort of said, okay, fine. So he needs to drink a bit less, and that whole thing. So so you get exactly what you ask for. So you need to have a clear picture. And then, as you get better at practicing, then you'll start asking for things like, you need to get along with my family instead of just being pretty, So that's, I think, something important to think about.
Yeah. I like making a list as well. I'm a list person. And I love looking back at lists after so many months and seeing what I've checked off the list, because I think sometimes it's you can go to the end of the year or go after 6 months and go, what did I just do the last 6 months? Or what did I even do this year? Or whatever. Or you think maybe about a few things that stood out. But then when I go back and always look at my list, and I love crossing each thing, like my list is always huge, and I know it's always way too big that I'm not going to be able to accomplish everything in 1 year, just because I have all these things I want to do in life, which is exciting, but to go back, look and see which ones I've crossed off and go, oh, wow, yeah, I have done that. I have accomplished a lot this year. That's what I like to do.
Yeah, the gratitude.
I think the vision board, Jasmine, is excellent too. And I think it would be great to have around the house for our family and my children and all that. I think that's a great, great idea.
Someone that I follow is a quantum manifester. Can't remember her name right now, but it was really big thing for me to learn that the whole thing, because everything's inverted, that we have to feel it to. No, yes. We used to think we had to see it to believe it, but we have to believe it for it to happen, which is the quantum perspective. And I may not have explained that very well, but I'm with you in that one thing I've been able to manifest, and it's the feeling thing in my life, is whenever I've gone to buy a new property or to move house, I just know it's the right house or the
Yeah.
right. I'm like, yes, it is. And so then I can call on that feeling, because that's a feeling of when I know I'm in alignment. And I think once you've got something that you can use and connect with that feeling again, then you can start doing it in other areas of your life. But the quantum manifestor, she was talking a lot about how, we vacillate, like we want this, but we have the negative self-talk, which is what we were just talking about. But if you keep doing that, you've got to solidify the positive timeline by focusing more on that than the other, and not self-doubting. Oh, well, I mean, of course, we all have moments we will doubt, but we've just got to focus more on the positive one.
Definitely. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And as you were kind of touching upon before, Marle, about visualizing that you've already got it. Like you're that's supposed to be good too, is like visualizing living as if you're already living the way that you want before you have it. And that's supposed to be
and being grateful for
absolutely
everything,
Yeah.
And being grateful for having it, so you have to already, and even if you don't, you just have to, what's that one? Fake it till you make it. So you're just going to be happy and it's all good and you've got it and you're so grateful that you've got it, because you have to put it out in the universe, isn't it? You're ready to receive and you're grateful for having it.
Absolutely.
And you have to be aligned to it.
Yeah. And they say when you're practicing, like when you're in a state of gratitude, that it's hard to be in a state of negative emotions at all when you're like that, because you're like, when you think about it, you're sitting there and you go. So I do that too. Like if I'm, in a bad mood or feeling a bit down, and just taking a moment there to feel that gratitude and be like, okay, I am grateful for everything in my life that's been given. It really does change your mood, and really does bring you out of the negative into a more positive. And that's like a little activity or little trick that people can do, or feeling low, is use the gratitude little trick there. And it really helps. Yeah, it does.
I was just having this conversation with a friend of mine, and I was telling her I'm not very good at doing it, I must admit, because when I wake up in the morning, I've got little kids and I'm busy, and then I just jump up and make sure I get my coffee, because it's the first thing that I can think of, right? But what we should really be doing is just gently getting up, swing your feet as they touch the ground. You say, I am so grateful for today, and thank you so much, and I am truly loved. And then start your day that way. It's better. And because we can, implant all of that in ourselves, and it's like that neural highways in your brain, right? And we all talk about that. So if you're constantly going to think negative or, think a certain way, that becomes a highway. It starts from a little garden path and it becomes a highway. So we can do exactly the same with positive things, isn't it? So make that your highway, not the doubt and the worry.
Yeah. And for years and years, I've always believed, like, try and go to bed happy as well. Like if you can, in a good mood, and try and sort out your issues that day before going to bed. But, even if I don't, I always wake up happy, and like it feels like a new beginning every morning. No matter what's going on in my life, I wake up like that, like joyful, and okay, it's a new day.
That's great.
Yeah, and that helps.
So I was just gonna say about the theme for the year. So have you guys thought of one for this year? Or are you no pressure, but I just wanted to say about me choosing the flexible one for a few years, and I think it really helps your internal landscape, or just awareness. Like with the whole flexible thing, I really wanted to be more flexible because I couldn't go to yoga and hold a pose without or any sort of extension like this, because everything would lock up. And so I took every opportunity last year to learn about well, I think I took some anyway, not every single opportunity, and then I did another vision boarding workshop with a lady I know who's a color therapist. And what we had to do was we picked 6 different topics, and one of mine was about being flexible. And then we had to write down all the feelings that we would have or how it would be to be that. Just like you were explaining, Marle, because she actually does a bit of NLP with her whole thing as well. And so I had to write that down, and then we had to look at all these colors, choose a color, and then she gave us cards, and it had like a process, but it had words. And so the color I chose was orange, and then we had to look at all the words or little sayings that were on the which was affirmations as well. And the one that I chose, it was perfect for me developing flexibility. And so then you make up an affirmation, and you need to keep saying that or embodying that. And what I learned was that to be flexible, I wanted to be flexible in my physical body, but you actually need to be flexible around people and social situations and all these other things. And it just really gave me a lot more depth of awareness of what flexible meant, and my learning about it. So I want to keep going with that, because like by the end last month, I was able to go to a Nia dance class 3 times a week, and I hadn't done any exercise like that. I'd done walking and gardening and stuff, but because I'd get headaches. But yeah, I was quite proud of myself that because I had the back of my mind, flexible, I've got to be flexible. So
but if you just think about it, if you wake up in the morning with a sore neck, what do they say? They say it's usually because you can't, you're not flexible enough in accepting things in your life, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
So we manifest that stuff in our bodies too.
Yeah. And we think that we're working on ourselves like in the spiritual one, but we still have to work in our body.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about SCHH, with us working with releasing stuff out of the body. I mean, that's probably helped me too, actually.
Exactly. Yeah.
And the other thing I was just thinking about is, with this whole process, we can ask for assistance, so you can ask your guides and your angels and, helping you release, but also, manifesting things, understanding why you can't reach where you need to be. And I don't mean a little bit more realistic manifestation aims, and not being, I'd like to fly with my own wings, So, we just need to look at what, within our, boundaries of our karma, what we can and cannot do in our lives. So, I thought I'll just...
Isn't saying that, you do see some, like I look at these pictures of these elderly ladies doing the splits, or, they've got their leg up and their arm up, and I'm like,
you can do that, Jasmin.
I can't do that. Wait until next year, the end of the year. Yeah, so this year my theme is, I just thought I'd put it out there. I've got 2, but I'll just share one, and it's intention. So I want to do everything with intention, so I don't fritter away time and energy and stuff. So you can call me to account with that if you like.
That's a good one. That's a really good one. Yeah, for me, it's going to be self-care. I'm going to continue to do clients, but this past year, like all 3 of us and a lot of SCHH practitioners, we were busy, like, getting our businesses going and, training and doing all that stuff. And so now that that's kind of out of the way, like YouTube for the first time, like learning all these tech things, how to edit videos, different things. So this year, I wanted to kind of do the self-care thing this past year, but I was trying to do too many things, this year. And so, this year, the self-care thing for me is just with health, and just, I think as we're ascending as well, that, it's important for all of us as we're kind of ascending as well, because our bodies don't want this dense energy anymore, and it has to do with SCHH. So just releasing anything dense and kind of working on that. And I'm a number 6 like you, Marle. So there'll be a lot about home and domestic. That came up in my Reiki sessions with Ian too. Like, just, he said, I can see you like in the kitchen, doing stuff. Yeah, it is. So yeah, gonna be a lot of self-care in there, I think, this year, just the detoxing and focusing on that and just getting more fit. I want to be more stronger and be able to do more with my kids and flexible and stuff. I'm gonna work on that stuff for the next, it'll take a few years, I think, yeah, as well. So yeah.
I've got mine. I want to do lightness. So lightness and emotional lightness, and the way I approach things, not to get too hung up or too serious. I want to do the lightness thing. So
That sounds great.
just take things a little bit easier, and
Yeah.
definitely in my work and just everything. So and I've got a feeling it's going to be all right, especially this year. It's already feeling much better than last year.
Yeah. So Marle, you and I are a 6 this year. Jasmin and I are both 25s for our day of birth, and you two are both 7s.
Yeah, for birth force.
That's why we get on so well.
Yeah. That's neat.
Yeah,
Has anyone got any other topics or anything, or should we raund up our lovely chat?
I just want to say one other thing. I've always got something to say, don't I? I just want to say is, it's a common thing that, well, I'll just use this as an example. Some women say, oh, I really want a partner in my life. I'm going to manifest this beautiful husband, all that thing. But they never go out and meet anybody. So you can't wait for the doorman, for the delivery guy. That might not be your husband. So my main thing that I basically want to get across is some action. So you need to do stuff to reach your goals, to manifest whatever you want. So that's sometimes what people don't realize. It's, manifesting stuff can be a very active thing, so just imagining it might not be enough. So get out there, with both hands.
Open the door.
Yeah, be open to the universe. The universe's timing and your timing might not be exactly the same, so don't get impatient and but definitely work towards it. It's your manifestation project.
That's a really good point to put that in there. Yeah, it does take work, and you got to put the work in as well.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
and just know that SCHH can really help with so many aspects, because you can be releasing the blocked energy, you can bringing in your guides, you can ask any questions about, which I love that part, as I've said before, where people get more connected to their higher self. They get the answers that they're on the right track. I mean, why not ask? There's nothing wrong with asking those sort of questions to get your own guidance. So
absolutely. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, removing entities, blocks, emotional blocks, getting reasons behind stuff. And I really love SCHH. It's a fantastic way to do a lot of your own personal growth. So
absolutely,
that's why we're here, and we we love this work. So yeah.
I agree. And the more you release, like, the better you're going to feel. The lighter you're going to feel, the more you're going to be able to move forward, release those things that are holding you back, like all that. Yeah. Very good. Yeah. I love it as well.
Okay. Well, thanks, you guys. Thanks, everyone. And we'll see you next time.
Yeah. Happy New Year.
Guys. Happy New Year.
Bye.